Yes, students, today what am I going to discuss? I am going to tell you about your performance in yesterday's test. Let's discuss the answers today. And as you all are aware that we still have to just go through a few things, right? Let me just get the questions. Yeah. And offline papers are here with me. Online ones, I'll be sending them soon, as and you'll get them simultaneously as I correct them. Now, what role did Ebright's mother play in his becoming a successful scientist? We know that Ebright owed his success to his mother. How dedicated and how devoted she was. She did not want her child to feel lonely, so she always kept him busy, right? So after school in the evening, he could not go and play with anybody. And she was there spending a lot of time. So they shifted to a new place, and so that's why. So whether it was buying books for him or it was buying any other material, and so she always kept his time occupied, and so she developed that sense of curiosity and the desire to learn. So in a way, when he did become a very, you can say, a well-established or a very well-known scientist, he owed his success to his mother. So one thing, class 10th, we don't know when to reduce our answers. We are asking for the relevant content. Do not write the whole chapter. Don't write about all the projects that he worked on and everything there. Yeah, maybe a line or two is fine enough, but don't write pages and pages about it. I have not asked for the summary of the chapter. Please learn to read the question and read to answer what is required. Answer what is required. Okay, so how his mother's role? Talk about his mother's role. How she was there supporting him, helping him, grooming him, and into becoming a successful scientist. Now, how did Matilda find out that she had lost the necklace, and how did they try to find it? When did Matilda realize that she had lost the necklace? So after the party where she had gone to, and when she reached home, she wanted to take one last look at herself, because she knew that this beautiful moment in her life and something that she had waited for a long time, when she would look pretty and everyone would compliment her about her appearance. So she felt that that moment is never going to come again so soon. She wanted to take one last look at herself in the mirror. And when she went to do that, and before removing the expensive necklace, she was shocked to see that the necklace was not there around her neck. It was a moment of great panic, and she told her husband, and both of them immediately at that, you can say, late hour, like he went over there and had the cab person's number. They went searching all the paths that they went in, even going tracing their steps and all. He came back late at night and was unsuccessful in his attempt to find the necklace. She also went through the folds of her dresses everywhere, and it was a very disastrous moment. And then, of course, the necessary arrangements they made to replace the necklace, and how they took the loan and from the money lenders, and how they had to work double shifts, a big change in their life, although that is not required. Okay, so all this is more than enough. How they retraced their steps, and they went again to find out. Next was, what made Bholi think that school was a special place? So what about Bholi's behavior? What about Bholi's change, or that special moment there that day, that how she realized, yeah, it is something very special? Because what happened that day, she was treated in a very different manner. She was made to get ready and dressed up, and she was given new clothes to wear, and her hair was combed, and her appearance was taken care of. So she thought that, yes, where everybody is making so much of efforts to make my appearance better and to making me look very neat and clean and presentable, so it must be a nice place. So she did made me realize that, or think that school must be a very special place. When she went over there inside the school, she looked at the school building, the walls, all the pictures over there, all those beautiful things that she saw, and how the teachers spoke to her very kindly and politely. And that was when she realized that school is a special place. Once again, Read the question and do write what is relevant. Okay. There was one more thing that was about Tricky. What treatment helped him? Yeah. And as such, there was no medical treatment that was given to Tricky. It was not he was given a lot of medicines or some kind of surgery was done. What was there without medicine? He was given the treatment, and it was just a change of lifestyle. It was a change of his eating habits that brought about this change in him. So he was given, like less food to eat, and he was made to exercise a lot. And it was not that he resisted that change. He was, like within a few days, he adapted himself and he became comfortable and enjoyed running around with the other dogs, competing them for food. And so it did bring about a change in him, and he became a much active and a much better dog. Yes, the teacher was very caring, and she did not make off her stammering and of her ugliness, right? Yes, that is why, when I said when she looked at the walls, also the pictures with it, she was not able to recognize all the alphabets and all. She just could see these pictures. And the teacher there was talking to her so nicely, so kindly. So she was very surprised, and where no one made fun of her. I'm coming back to the previous question, because at home, how was she treated? Was she given the due recognition? Was she there considered very important? Only, yeah, she was getting dressed up and she was made ready to go to school. That was when she was given special attention. Otherwise, nobody paid much attention to her because of the problems that she had, right? So it was her appearance, and she was a little slow in learning, and because of that, because of the lack of confidence, she started stammering, right? And her family did not give much importance to her. They did not pay much attention to her. And because the village, like official had told them to send their daughters to school, so the elder daughters were not sent because they felt it might not get grooms, right? Or they not be married off in a good families. So they decided to send Bholi to school. And Bholi was lucky for this. So it was the one who benefited from it. She became a confident person. She became a stronger person. And all these changes are later on. So we're just talking about the first day in school. What she thought about the treatment done to her, what she thought about the school building, what she thought about the teachers. Okay, fine, good enough. Next, it's about Matilda, about that special moment, why it was, why she wanted to look at herself again in the mirror, what was her reaction, how she screamed and was shock there at that moment, and all the efforts that were made by her and her husband to find the necklace, right? How they retraced everything, how they went back all the way, phoned the cab also, you put, right, all the advertisements and everything there regarding the loss of the necklace, okay? But they were unable to find it. In fact, they had to replace it with a much expensive one, okay? Now coming to Tricky also here, there was no medical treatment as such. It was given to him, and it was a change in lifestyle. It was a change in his habits, eating habits, which had been made very bad by Mrs. Pumphrey. She would over pamper him and she would overfeed him, because for her, the way of showing her love and affection was by giving him more and more food, right? So she thought, if I feed my dog, it will make him even more healthy, it will make him even more active. But he ended up becoming even more lazier, okay? So it did not help him in much good way. But Tricky, he was happy in this new environment. Yes, initially he did not, run around much, and that was because it did take him 2-3 times. They did not give him food to eat. They gave him lots of water to drink, and then they start. In fact, he started competing with the other dogs, to run to his bowl and finish it or fast. And he kept on running around with the dogs there, chasing rats, and under the stars they would, spend their time. So it was a very nice change for Tricky. So some things are there. Sometimes it is not medicine that treats us, but yeah, we have to have a change in our mindset. We have to change our lifestyle, and things will automatically become better. Okay. Letter I had given you, very simple letter it was. It was a letter of inquiry, making inquiries about a trip. want to go visit various cities of Kerala, and the number of people who want to be there, who will be joining or who would be going for that trip has been mentioned in the question. One word was there, your itinerary or itinerary. That is the plan, the schedule, like the day-wise schedule here that was given. So you wanted to know, you have to ask about that you are making inquiries. You will ask about the accommodation. You will give your specified dates when you want to visit, right? You will talk about the number of people who are there going to be a part. You will ask about the itinerary, which cities would you like to visit in particular. Once again, it's always good to be aware. If we are aware of our country, if we are aware of different cities and places, it will definitely make for better writing. You want to visit various cities of Kerala, right? So you should be aware of what is there so beautiful about Kerala. The backwaters there, it's God's own country. You want to see the beautiful backwaters, you want to see the beaches there, you want to go to all the places that are there, right? So yeah, you should be aware of the things. So here you are going to make certain suggestions that, yeah, I would like this to be included in my sightseeing plans, right? Or in the sightseeing tour, okay? Format, once everything is put into place, I have given you the sender's address. I have given you the receiver's address, right? So when you write them in place, you immediately get your format. The sender's address, leave a line, write down the date in the proper format, okay? Then comes your, what? Who is there? The sender, right? The receiver, the date, the sender. Then comes the subject and salutation, right? So, sir, dear sir, anything, manager, whatever you want to write, it can be there. Fine. After writing all that, make your separate paragraphs for everything you want to ask. You can write in points also if you want to. You have to frame questions because it is a letter of inquiry, right? Okay. Queries you're going to ask. You're going to ask these little questions there. Fine. And yes, here you're signing off with yours truly. And now I think so after this, I'll be checking your pre-board exams. And for that, the whole syllabus is there. And can we just go through any questions or any chapters which you have in mind regarding your doubts or whatever problem that you have? Do you have any problem related to that? Or should I ask you a few questions? Let's see. Any questions randomly? I'll just ask you. Let's see how much you are able to recollect. Okay. No, ma'am, because we are there busy preparing for some other tests. So we are not going to give you answers today. Let's see. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears a last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So coincidentally, I think so. You asked a question regarding that also in the last test. The fact that the tiger is stalking the length of his cage tells us what? Stalking, to walk around, stalking here in your terms nowadays to follow someone. You stalk someone on the social network, right? So you want to know everything about that person. But here, what is the tiger doing? He's just walking up and down in his cage. What does it show about us? He is restless. He is reckless. He is resilient. He is reverent. What do these words mean? If we know the meaning, only then we are going to find out the correct answer. What do this mean? What does restless mean? Why is he stalking the length of his cage? What does it show us about his behavior? He just cannot sit in one place. And he's moving here and there, like you people are there. You're so restless before the exam, right? The correct option is restless, that he just cannot rest in peace. He cannot just sit at one. He is, yes, Dia, I've given you the options. You have to tell the correct option, okay? The fact that the tiger is stalking the length of his cage. He is walking here and there. What quality about him is shown here? I've given you options. Listen carefully once again. Restless, reckless, resilient, reverent. correct option is restless. He's there quite unable to sit down because he's so hurt. He's so angry that there's a lot of anger in him that I am here kept in this cage. Where should I be? I should be out in my natural habitat. I should be in the wild among the the other living, you can say the wild animals there. And he should be scaring the villagers. He should be hunting deer. And here he is locked in the cage. So he's restless. He wants to get out from there. And what does reckless mean? Reckless driving, the teenagers here, the way they drive here, your reckless behavior will create problems for you. Reckless means careless. Resilient. Resilient is to come back again, right? You come back after this tragedy that has happened, the loss here, right? That has happened in a business or any other way. So resilient there. You just come back again. You are there. Reverent, respectful. So, right, so of these R's which are there, which one is the correct answer? It is restless. Next is, what is the rhyme scheme of the given stanza? Bars, actually it's cell, bars, cage, visitors, right? So you will be able to find out the rhyme scheme here. Rhyme scheme is the last word of the stanza. He is locked in a concrete cell, bars, cage, visitors. Next is night, cars, eyes, stars. So these stanzas have been kind of broken away here. So it is what? We'll just find out. You'll have to look at the book here where the passages are given separately. Now these stanzas, they bring out the contrast between what? The zoo and the city, strength and weakness, freedom and captivity, visitors and patrolling cars. What does this poem talk about? Which feelings does it highlight? What is it that it emphasizes on? The freedom of the tiger, the captivity of the tiger, both this it talks about. The tiger in its captivity and the tiger in its free habitat, in its freedom. So this is what this poem highlights. It talks about the behavior of this wild animal in captivity as well as in the freedom. Okay. What is the caged tiger not likely to say to the visitors? What is he going to say? What is he not going to say? Is he going to tell them, stop staring, set me free, go away, join me? What do you think the tiger is going to tell these people? What would you love to say to these people? But yeah, among these options, what is he not likely to say? He would love to say, stop staring. Yes, he would like to say that. Set me free. Yeah. Go away or join me. Out of these two, which you think he's not going to say? Is he going to say join me or is he going to say go away? What is he going to tell them? Does he like being stared at? So he'll tell them, please go away. Right? That is also he's going to say. So which answer are we left with? Join me. Is he going to say, come join me in the cage? So this is the correct answers. The tiger's brilliant eyes. Last line, he stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Right? What does this reveal? What do these brilliant eyes, they reveal? That he hopes to be free and in the wild someday, is looked after well and is nourished and healthy, enjoys staring at the bright stars each night, is well rested and hence wide awake. It's the first one. His brilliant eyes staring at the stars because he longs for his freedom. He longs to be away from this zoo. He longs to be away from the cage. So he's staring at the stars and he wants to be enjoying his freedom, right? So he hopes to be free and in the wild sometime. I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street. And then, merrily over, there it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling down, staring down at his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Which poem is this? Which poem is this? Ball poem. It's by John Berryman. These things you should be aware of. These things you should be able to identify. Now, what does the poet use the ball as a symbol of? What does the ball symbolize? What does the ball show us? What does it tell us? The sense of adventure, carefree childhood days, ability to bounce back, or the extended family. He talks about it's as he says, he saw the ball going. What is it going to take away with it? His carefree behavior, his childhood, right? So it is his carefree childhood days. Because later on, after the loss of the ball, the boy learns a number of lessons. What are the lessons that he learns? He learns about responsibility. He learns about the importance of money. And he also learns that materialistic things cannot be, compensated for in life, or they cannot compensate for the memories or the moments or the beautiful moments that you have spent. Buying a new ball is not going to bring back those beautiful memories that you had playing with that other one, right? So here it is about that. The poet feels that there is no point consoling the boy. What is consoling? To make someone understand. You're crying so badly and your parents have to try to comfort you, right? Okay, so never mind, we'll get you a new one. Never mind, right? It is not your mistake. That is how they console you when you are in a problem or in a difficult situation. Why he says it? Let's not console the boy, because the poet wants the boy to learn a lesson. So he says consoling is not the solution. It would give him false hope. He might demand for a new ball. It might distress him further. Whatever he has lost is irretrievable. He feels that there's no point in consoling it. It is whatever he has lost is irretrievable. Let's not console him, because what he has lost, it's not only the ball he has lost, but along with the ball, what else has he lost? He's lost his childhood. He's lost special moments. So we are not going to falsely console the boy. We're going to tell him that, okay, fine, everything is all right. No, things are not going to be all right. Some things are going to change in life, and you must learn to accept responsibility. You must learn to grow up. You must learn to take care of your things. And these are the lessons which the poet wants the boy to learn, okay? The word harbor does not have a similar meaning too. First of all, what does harbor mean? Harbor, the place where the ships, they are, come to rest, or you can say where they come to after the long voyages. That is where they come to stop, the harbor, okay? So what is it not similar to? Port, also yes. Pier, dock, cargo. All these words are related to things which are there found on the harbor. The port is there, dock where the there, and cargo there, it would be something different. It is not related to the past step. Merrily over there, it is in the water. The dash here is meant to convey some familiar experience, a sense of unexpected interruptions and thoughtful moments, a feeling of excitement. Merrily over, there it is in the water. So it has just spilled over, it's fallen into the water. What does it show in that break here? What does it show? A feeling of excitement. Yeah, see, where is the ball gone? It's disappeared. But what has disappeared with the ball? So many other beautiful moments, so many things have gone with it. The word that does not indicate a physical manifestation of sorrow in the boy is. What were the things that the boy was doing there to show his sorrow? Look at the words here. He's shaking, he's rigid, he's trembling. All these words, they're showing that, see, he's just standing stiff over there. But he is in great pain. He's shaking also because of the loss that has happened, right? What is the word? Worthless. No, the child is not worthless. He has learned an important lesson, okay? So please read your chapters very, very thoroughly, because you are going to have your multiple choice questions. You're going to get 2 extracts and multiple choice questions, okay? And of course, your literature here, your subjective ones. So it is a long portion where you have a lot of literature to study, and in depth, of course. So extracts here deal with what is asked in that passage, right? And yeah, when you are coming to your subjective questions, you have your long answers and you have your value-based. then you give your, you can say the global understanding or the global comprehension of that chapter, right? Okay.